Yes, we are all together again. Nice to see you here, to see you very, very nicely indeed. We are back together, and yes, it is Wednesday, it is midweek, and we are back with our special live English streams during the week. So during the month of July, I took a little break from my Wednesday live streams, but we are back with our regular twice a week, not just on Sunday, but also on Wednesday as well, coming to you live from the birthplace of the English language, which just happens to be English and England. You see, English is the thing, and England is where I am. Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you happy? I really hope you are feeling happy today. Yes, we are back and we are live as live can be at 4 minutes past 2 o'clock on Wednesday, the 4th of August. Can you believe it? I don't know about you, but I can't believe that we have already made it to August. This year has gone very quickly. In fact, the other day I was watching TV and there was a shopping channel selling Christmas cards. What? Are you serious? Are you kidding me? No, I'm not. They were actually showing people how to make their own Christmas decorations and also Christmas cards. August. I think maybe we have gone a little bit crazy. I think so. For those wondering what this is, my name is Duncan. I talk about the English language. I love talking about English. You might say that I am an English addict. So that's the reason why we call it that, you see? Because I'm an English addict and I have a feeling that you also might be an English addict as well. So I talk about English. I've been teaching on YouTube in English for a very long time, almost 15 years. I know. Almost as long as YouTube has existed. I know, it's true. I'm not joking. So we have made it to the middle of the week because, yes, unless I'm completely mistaken, it's Wednesday. Nice to be back, by the way. I hope you enjoyed last Sunday with Mr. Steve and myself. We did have a lovely time. It was nice to see you on Sunday, and it's very nice to see you here today. Coming up, we are talking about some subjects. That is the name of the game, I suppose. English Addict, talking about English, talking about the English language, and of course talking to you as well on the live chat. You might say that today is a little bit of an experiment to see how many people actually watch today. So I have to make sure that I'm doing this for a good reason. So you might say that today is a little bit of an experiment. We will see what happens. I did take a break last month from my Wednesday live streams, so we will see what happens. Can I say hello to Willian? A special hello because you are celebrating your birthday this Friday on the 6th of August. Oh, just 6 days before my birthday. Can you believe it? So happy birthday, Willian. for this Friday. I hope you have a good day. I hope your birthday on Friday will be filled with lots of lovely gifts and also lots of lovely food, because you can't have a birthday, really, without treating yourself to something nice. Very nice, in fact. Hello to the live chat. I haven't forgotten about you. Don't worry. It's a beautiful day outside, by the way. Can I just show you the weather? It's absolutely gorgeous. I was surprised because last week the weather forecast was saying that this week was going to be very wet with lots of showers. But in fact, it is the opposite. It is sunny, quite warm. Very nice, dry, with just a few clouds in the sky. So there it is, a live view looking out of my studio window. Oh, by the way, are you good at keeping secrets? I have a secret that I'm going to share with you. But you must promise that you won't tell anyone else, especially grumpy old Mr. Steve. Please don't tell Steve about this. I have found something disturbing. Very disturbing. Well, maybe not for me, but for Mr. Steve, I think it will be very disturbing. He will be quite alarmed, to be honest. Just outside my studio window, over there, just above the window outside, I have discovered a wasp's nest right above the window. Right above, just outside the window. I looked out this morning because I was having a look outside to see what the weather was like, and I looked up and there were hundreds of small wasps flying in and out of a small crack in the brickwork above my studio. So, but for goodness sake, please don't tell Mr. Steve, because I will tell you now what Steve will do. He will have them killed. He will. He will have someone come and he will have them all killed. So please don't tell Steve. Not only are the wasp's life at stake, but also my own life as well, for keeping it a secret. Because I think Mr. Steve might also have me exterminated as well. So there is a wasp's nest just above my window. I haven't taken any video footage because, well, first of all, I didn't have time, and also I didn't want to get too close. Because, of course, if they find out that I'm near their nest, they might attack me. And one of the last things I want today is to be attacked by a swarm of wasps. But that is the secret. It's a secret, okay? Don't tell Steve. Do not tell Steve on Sunday. Don't tell him at all, please. Because he will have someone to come and kill them. Because it happened before where we used to live. We had a bee's nest inside the garage. And Steve called this man in a white coat, and he had a very long hose pipe with smoke coming out of the end. And he went into the garage, and about 2 hours later, all the lovely sounds of the buzzing bees disappeared. It was silent. And I will never forget that. So please don't tell Steve that I have a wasp's nest above my studio. Don't tell him, please, because he will have them killed. He will have them exterminated. Exterminated. I did that for all you Doctor Who fans watching out there. So who was first on today's live chat? I wonder. I'm not sure, actually, who was first here today. Who was first? Oh, I see. Very interesting. He is back with his very fast finger. Very fast, because if you want to be first on my live chat, you have to have a very fast finger. I think maybe this week I will give a special award to you because you were first on the live stream, but also I think you have a very fast finger. In fact, I feel that clicking your mouse should be the latest Olympic sport. So congratulations to Vitas. You have the gold medal today because you are first on the live chat. Ooh. You know what? That almost deserves a fancy pants. We can't have too much of that. I can't get too excited today because I have a long way to go and it's very hot here in the studio. Can I just say, it is boiling hot in the studio at this moment. So hello to Vitas. Yes, you are first on the return of Wednesdays with our English Addict live stream. Also, Belarusia. Hello, Belarusia. Claudia. Nice to see you here. Oh, we also have Luis Mendez is here again. Nice to see you. Vijanka. Hello, Vijanka Kuhan says, hi, sir. Hi to you. Vijanka, nice to see you here. Where are you watching at the moment? Are you somewhere nice? Are you somewhere hot? Or are you keeping cool where you are? We also have Beatriz. Hello, Beatriz. We also have, hello to Sandra Gonzalez. Nice to see you here as well. Also Ahmed. And we also have Shirin Ibrahim. Nice to see you here. Hello, Extra Stars Academy. Hello, Extra Stars Academy. I hope you are feeling good today. Did you like that? Did you like my happy jazz hand wave? Isn't that lovely? I might do two. Would you like two of them? Okay, here we go. Also, we have Sarah and Zudzika. Apparently, can I just tell you a story? A lot of people thought that you were a girl. But you're not. You are not. Zudzika is a man. A man, I tell you. Also, Mayuri. Hello, Mayuri. Also, we have Zoran. Hello, Zoran. Nice to see you as well. Thanks for joining me today on the live stream. Yes, we are back on Wednesdays with a live stream. This is an experiment. So imagine that I'm in my laboratory now, trying to work out whether my latest experiment is going to work. So we will see how many people are here today. Hello also Sue Ray. Hello Sue Ray. Today was my fruit day. And now I have my sushi with cauliflower, avocado and sweet potatoes and homemade tomato paste. That sounds very nice, Sue, to be honest. I will be honest also and say that I'm not a big fan of sushi. I don't know why. I think it might be the smell, because sometimes sushi can have a little bit of a fishy smell, and I'm not very keen on that, to be honest. But yes, the rest of it sounds gorgeous. I like the sound of your meal, especially the cauliflower, because I'm a big fan of cauliflower. I happen to think that cauliflower is one of the most neglected vegetables. A lot of people forget all about cauliflower, but it is very nice. Palmyra says, I also made the same mistake about Zudzika. I also thought that he was a she. But no, Zuzika is a man. He's a man's man. Hello, Ricardo. Hello also to Mosen. Hi, Mosen. Nice to see you back. Thank you also for all of your lovely kind messages that you left for me on Facebook after my second vaccination that I received on Monday. And as you can see, I'm perfectly all right. Everything's fine. Nothing bad has happened. I'm here and I'm alive, so don't worry too much about that. But yes, I did have my second vaccine on Monday, so now I am fully vaccinated for now. We will see what happens next. Hello also to, can I say hello to Abdul Fazil? Hello, Abdul Fazil. And also to Amina. Hello, Amina. Nice to see you here. Parisa also. Very nice to see you here as well. Parisa. Yes, the view behind me, by the way, that is live. So what you are looking at behind me is right now out of the window. So you can see the beautiful, well, there is first of all a little village church. Can you see that? That is a little church near to where I live, and also you can see some houses as well, and lots of beautiful crops growing in the fields as well. Today we are talking about losing face, and this is something that I always find quite interesting, because as we go through life we always try to put our best side forward. We see that as a way of being respected, accepted, and also maybe it can help us to achieve things in our life. So we always like to appear perfect in the way we behave, and also the way we think, and maybe also the things that we know. However, sometimes we do make mistakes, we do make errors, and one of the worst things that can happen to any person is to be found out. If you are discovered to have made a mistake, made some sort of error, maybe something you did accidentally, or maybe something you did on purpose, maybe something you meant to do. Mika, oh, hello, Mika. Oh, can I say hello, Mika? Hello, and I hope everything is going all right there in Japan. You have had a very busy week there because the Olympic Games are now ongoing, although it would appear that most people have been talking about the drama of the Olympic Games. And let's face it, there have been quite a few dramas over the past 2 or 3 days at the Olympics for various reasons. But hello, Mika. I would like to say hello to the classmates. I'm working tomorrow in boiling hot weather. I do believe it is very hot in Japan. Also, you may have heard about the fires that are ravaging parts of Turkey and across Europe. And things are a little bit crazy in that part of the world for various reasons, not least of all because of all of the forest fires that are burning at the moment. But yes, a lot going on in the world right now. In fact, I could probably spend an hour talking about all of the things that are happening in the world, but I'm not going to do that because, well, I'm not that type of channel, to be honest. Hello, Beatrice again. Hello also Sandra Galina. Hello, Galina. I like your name, by the way. Lovely name. Thank you very much for joining me today. So we are talking about certain subjects, losing face. It is something that a lot of people do not like doing, if you lose face. By the way, I've been busy looking at the internet over the past few days, and there are 1 or 2 things that I've been looking at, And there is one thing in particular that I've become very obsessed by. Would you like to see my latest obsession? Here it is. So here is the thing that I have become obsessed with over the past 3 or 4 days. It just shows how busy I've been. It does. Have you ever heard of this? Flight Radar. It's a very interesting website, and it is interesting because you can track all of the planes, all of the aircraft that are in the air at any particular time, and it does it live. Can you believe it? So you can actually look at a map of the world, and you can see all of the aeroplanes that are flying around. And between you and me, I have become a little bit obsessed with this, because where I live, we do get a lot of planes flying over and also nearby. But over the past couple of days, there have been lots of fighter planes, or should I say fighter jets, flying over. And I was surprised to find out that many of these jets are actually from the USA. So we actually have American warplanes flying around in the sky above the UK at the moment. I don't know what it's about, but I think it must be some sort of exercise or some sort of manoeuvre. But it is interesting that you can actually watch the planes as they fly over. Even military planes as well. You can actually watch the military planes as they fly around at 600 miles an hour. It's incredible. You can also watch planes coming into land as well on the map. You can also see planes taking off as well. By the way, I'm not being sponsored by this website. Before anyone says anything, I am not being paid by anyone. This is just something I discovered myself, and it has become my latest obsession. I will be honest with you. I have become rather obsessed. So now every time I hear an aeroplane going over the house, I go onto this site so I can have a look at the aeroplane. I can see the model. I can see where that particular plane was registered. I can also see how high it is and how fast it is going, and I can even see what type of plane it is. It's amazing. So yes, it's quite good. And that's all I have on that, really. Oh, by the way, talking of aeroplanes, there's one going over the house right now. I really want to have a look and find out what type of plane it is. I can actually hear one going over the house right now. But enough of that. Talking of aeroplanes, did you see the video of the man who was causing quite a lot of chaos on a flight from, I think it was Philadelphia? And, well, I will give you the story. Here is the story for those who are wondering. Here we go. During a flight from Philadelphia to Miami on July the 31st, a passenger made inappropriate physical contact with a flight attendant and subsequently physically assaulted another flight attendant. So a passenger on the plane got very hands-on with one of the flight attendants, and then eventually he ended up fighting another flight attendant. But what I'm interested in is what happened during this flight. I will show you. So here is the guy shouting and screaming, and then he starts fighting with one of the air stewards. Something that I can't quite believe people are still doing, by the way. I still can't believe that people start fighting and causing trouble on aeroplanes. I mean, come on, how long has it been since 9/11? 20 years? We should all know by now that starting a fight or any trouble on an aeroplane is never a good idea. But here is the best part of the story. What they did to secure the man in his seat, they actually tied him with duct tape. And here is a picture of him being tied up. So there he is. You can see that now they are putting duct tape around the man to keep him in his seat and to keep him subdued. However, the people who did it, the staff, or should I say the flight attendants, have actually now been suspended because of it. Now, between you and me, I think the flight attendants did the right thing, because you don't want any trouble on an aeroplane. I mean, it is bad enough anyway, being on an aeroplane. Being up in the sky, inside a large plastic tube, flying at 35,000 feet is not a good idea. Even that is bad. So imagine being inside an aeroplane with someone who is going crazy. I don't recommend it, to be honest. So I think that the air stewards did the right thing. I think the airline staff did the right thing by tying the bloke up so he couldn't cause any more trouble. What about you, though? Am I right? Do you agree with that? So this guy was obviously causing a lot of trouble, a lot of problems on the plane. But he was going slightly crazy. Lewis says, Mr. Duncan, there are other websites that follow aeroplanes. When my sister went to Budapest 2 years ago, I knew the flight number and I could follow the flight all the time. Yes, it's amazing. It is amazing. Now, Mr. Steve went to Sardinia about 4 years ago, and I was able to watch his aeroplane on the internet. I could actually see where his plane was at any moment of time. And it was quite nice. I could even see it landing as well, which was very comforting. Valentin says they should have opened the door and thrown him out. I still can't believe that there are people who start trouble on aeroplanes. I think, of course, one of the main problems is alcohol, because quite often on an aeroplane, to calm people down and to make them feel relaxed, they will often give them lots of alcohol. Some people disagree with that. Some people say that you shouldn't have alcohol at all on an aeroplane. But yeah, very interesting. I thought it was an interesting moment of time, and also very creative as well, even though the flight attendants have now been punished for it. Yes, Palmyra says, often flights become places of different types of crime. It is true, and of course you are in a very small space as well. So it's not a thing that I would always advise doing. Never start a fight on an aeroplane, because quite often it doesn't end well. It does not. Hello to Jessie. Hello, Jessie TC. Jessie, where are you watching at the moment? Talking of anger, here's an interesting question that I'm going to throw in. There are different types of anger. You might also describe anger as rage as well. So there are many different types of anger that exist in society and probably amongst groups of people. So some people get very angry about things, especially in their day-to-day lives. Perhaps they are in a hurry. Perhaps they are trying to do something. Perhaps they feel like they are more important than other people. You know the sort of person I'm talking about. They always think that they are better than other people. They think that they have more rights than other people. You know who I mean. You know. I'm sure you've met them. So what about types of rage that can exist? Well, first of all, we can have the one that I just spoke about. We can have air rage, which of course refers to any situation where a person becomes angry in an aeroplane. Air rage. I think it happens quite a lot, especially when someone is drunk or angry on an aeroplane. But there are also many others as well. Many other types of anger that can happen in general situations. Here's another one. How about road rage? You see? So road rage is another one. People drive, people become crazy when they get behind the wheel of a car. Mr. Steve is the same. When Mr. Steve gets behind the wheel of a car, he changes into another person. He becomes a demon on the road. So yes, you can have road rage where one person gets very angry at another person on the road. It is very interesting. I always find it strange when people who are inside their car driving along the road, they transform into someone else because you can't see the person in the car in front of you, or for that matter, anyone. So all you can actually see are the cars. You can't see the people. Sometimes it's easy to forget that there are human beings inside the cars. So if you start a problem on the road, quite often you might find that the situation will get out of hand. It will become quite serious, a very serious type of situation. Hello to Manas. Oh, hello Manas. Nice to see you. Mr. Duncan, I have learned a lot from you, not only English, but also a humorous way of doing things. Actually, I was just watching your video filmed 14 years ago, and I was enjoying it. I love the way you are. Thank you, Manas. That's very kind of you. Yes, there are lots of video lessons on my YouTube channel. I will be showing one of them in a moment. And some of them are very old, and in those videos I look quite young and beautiful. Not like now. Can you believe this morning I found a new line on my face? I think it's about there. There is a new line on my face. I can't hide it anymore. I'm getting older. So we have road rage. Here's another one. Can you guess what this is? Trolley rage. Have you ever heard of trolley rage? Trolley rage is something that happens from time to time. Trolley rage is when you are in a supermarket pushing your trolley around and then someone else gets in the way with their trolley. So you are pushing your trolley around and then someone else is coming towards you, or they are standing in the aisle and they are blocking the way. You can't get past. So sometimes people get a little bit angry when they are driving their trolleys around the supermarket, their little shopping trolleys. It can happen. In fact, it does happen. Here's another one. You can have parking rage. Parking rage is when a person loses their parking space. Maybe they are driving into the car park and they see an empty space. But just as they approach, another car takes that space. That might cause the other person to become angry because they believe that that parking space is their space. It belongs to them, even though it doesn't. So yes, you can sometimes have parking rage as well. People start arguing and fighting over a parking space. Here's another one. Oh, so this just happens also to be a word that is very hard to spell. Can you see it? There it is, just below. Queue rage. When you are standing in a queue or in a line and maybe someone else pushes in. They push past you. They push in the way. So maybe a person tries to get in front of you. They push in to the line. That also can cause a lot of anger, maybe even fights. Especially if you've been waiting for a very long time and then another person pushes in front of you. It can make you rather angry indeed. Oh, hello, we have Sergio here. Hello, Sergio. Nice to see you here and also back as well. Can you have toilet rage? I'm not sure about that. Well, sometimes I get very angry on the toilet. I had a criticism the other day, by the way. Someone criticised me. They said, "Here, Mr. Duncan, you are always talking about going to the toilet. Why do you always talk about going to the toilet? You seem to be obsessed with poop." Can I just say that I'm not obsessed with poop at all? But it is an interesting subject when it comes up or down. Hello, Alexandro. Nice to see you here as well. So there are lots of different types of rage, different types of anger that can occur on an everyday basis in our everyday lives. Here we go then. Would you like to have a look at today's mystery idiom? Here it is then. Here is today's mystery idiom. And then we are going to take a look at one of my full English lessons. Are you ready? Get your thinking caps on, because here it is. Here is today's mystery idiom. It is a well-known expression in the English language, but all you have to do is tell me what the mystery idiom is. Just say what you see. Look at the picture on your screen and say what you see. It's as easy as that. And of course, I will give you the answer to the mystery idiom later on. I'm going to have a break, and maybe you would like a break as well. We will have a look at one of my full English lessons. This is an excerpt, some little bits of full English number 25. And then we will be back together completely live. Can you see what I'm standing inside? This is something you will see a lot on a countryside walk here in England. This is a type of gate that is used on public footpaths in rural areas. It is called a kissing gate. You will often see them around the edges of farmland where a public footpath comes into a farmer's field. The shape of a kissing gate means that only one person can go through at any time. The gate will not open right out, thus preventing livestock such as sheep from escaping. The gate is closed off on both sides. This is because of the shape of the enclosure. It is normally semicircular or square in shape. The gate touches or kisses each side of the enclosure, which gives this gate its name. It is a kissing gate. It allows people to pass through whilst keeping the farmer's livestock enclosed in the field. Can you see what I have here? This is string. It is a useful item for tying things up with. You tie things with string. You tie up something to keep it in place or to bind things together. The word string can also be used in other ways too. As a phrasal verb, you can use the word string to mean lead someone on by making them believe something that's not true. You string them along. You are stringing them along. You are cheating them. To fool someone into believing something that's untrue is string along. I don't believe a word of what you're saying. You are just stringing me along. As a verb, to string up means to hang something with a rope. To execute a person by hanging them by their neck is to string up. Then there is the phrase highly strung, which means to be oversensitive and easily upset. A highly strung person tends to overreact to things. He has a reputation for being highly strung, so be careful what you say. It's time to take a look at another buzzword. A buzzword is a word or phrase used frequently during a certain period or for a certain reason. Today's buzzword is millennial. The word millennial can be used as an adjective or noun. In its general term, the word refers to a period of 1,000 years. For example, a millennial cycle, which relates to the time something takes to complete or come round again. Then there is the more modern use, which is a person who will reach young adulthood during the early 21st century. A person who will be a young adult in the early 2000s can be described as a millennial. We often hear about millennial trends and millennial habits concerning young adults in today's society. The adjective describes the person, while the noun refers to the status. Young adults in the early 21st century are millennials. The needs of the average millennial tend to be technology-based. Social media sites often find it hard to keep up with the demands of the millennial user. Are you a millennial? This particular buzzword is often used when discussing the needs and requirements of the current and the next generation of young adults. Here are a couple of words that sound alike but have very different meanings. The words are allowed and allowed. They share the same phonetics, but their definitions are completely dissimilar. First of all, the word allowed means to do something audibly. That is to say that something is done that can be heard. For example, not in a low whisper, but in a voice that can be heard. The thing in question is being done aloud. He read the letter aloud for all to hear. The word allowed is an adverb. It describes how something is being done. Then there is allowed, which is a verb that means to give permission or to consent to something. You allow something to happen. It is allowed. One person has allowed another person to do something. The sign says, "No ball games allowed." I'm sorry, but no one is allowed in this room. On a side note, to allow also means to put aside something, so something else can be done. I will allow a couple of hours this afternoon for a rest. To consider something or to keep something in mind is also allow. You must allow for delays before starting your journey. just to give you a taste of the sort of thing my YouTube channel has, there it was, an excerpt from one of my full English lessons. And there are lots and lots of English lessons, and also you can watch my live streams again as well. Don't miss them. You might actually learn something from them. Oh, you never know. You never know. That's the reason why I'm here. Hopefully I can help you with your English practice and also maybe teach you some new words and expressions as well. As I mentioned earlier, in society, in our day-to-day lives, we always have to try and keep up appearances. We like to think that other people see us in a certain way, quite often in a good way or in a positive way. However, sometimes because we are human, we make mistakes, but we don't like to do that, you see, because then we don't look perfect. We don't look as if we are a perfect person. It kind of spoils the reputation or the image that you might have. So a lot of people like to save face, and I think it's quite an interesting topic to have a look at, which we are going to do right now. Oh, I see, Mr. Duncan. I can see where you are leading now. You are leading us towards this subject. So, saving face, what is it all about? Well, first of all, saving face is the action of avoiding humiliation. You are trying to avoid being humiliated. So the expression saving face means you are trying to keep your outward appearance safe. You are trying to save your face. Literally, in fact, in some senses, because your face is what people see. To avoid embarrassment is to save face. You might say that if a person is saving face, they are avoiding embarrassment. Maybe something they've done, maybe something they've done that was a mistake, and another person has found out about that mistake. You might try to avoid the embarrassment. You might also avoid other people finding out about your mistake. And we all do it. I do it sometimes, and maybe you do as well. So quite often it is a natural reaction to try and save face. To avoid embarrassment is to save face. The saving relates to the avoidance. To avoid, to stay away. You are trying to prevent something from happening. And the term face is being used as your appearance. So you do not want to appear foolish. So you try to save face. A person's integrity and reputation is saved. If you are able to save face, it means you are able to keep your reputation. It means your good name, or maybe your reputation is still good. You have saved your reputation. Or here's an interesting word, integrity. I like this word, integrity. There it is. Integrity. I'm sure a lot of people who watch South Park will know what integrity means. Something pure, something honest, something that has not been spoilt by anything else. Integrity. Or should I say, integrity. To avoid admitting a mistake or covering up one's lack of knowledge is to save face. You are saving your face. You are saving your honour. You are trying to prevent your good name from being spoilt. To avoid admitting a mistake or covering up one's lack of knowledge is to save face. I'm sure you've met people in the past who behave and act as if they know everything, but really they don't, because sometimes they make a mistake. And then you realise that they don't know as much as they want you to believe. It can happen sometimes. And then, of course, we have the opposite of saving your face. You can lose face. So the opposite event is lose face. To lose face relates to being exposed by having to admit to a mistake or lack of judgment. So in that respect, you are having to own up or admit, or maybe another person exposes your mistake, or they notice that what you are saying is not correct. You are losing face. A person's integrity has been damaged through a mistake or failing. So when we say a failing, we mean a situation where a person has made a mistake, or maybe they did not succeed in doing something. We describe it as a failing. So that is another way of expressing losing face. To be forced to admit to a mistake that will cause a person to lose face with their peers. So you have to admit to something. You have to admit to something. You are forced to admit to a mistake that will cause a person to lose face with their peers. And when we say peers, we mean the people around you. Maybe your work colleagues, maybe your college friends who study alongside you. So there is always a chance that when you lose face, you might look foolish. And sometimes you have to admit that you were wrong, which of course means you will lose face. In certain cultures, losing face is seen as the worst type of humiliation, or maybe one of them, at least one of the worst types of humiliation. So in certain cultures, I know from my time working in China, in Chinese culture, losing face is a very big deal. It really is. People will do anything to prevent losing face. So it is seen as a very shameful thing in Chinese society. And I remember that from my own experiences living and also working there. I really do. Can I say hello to the live chat? Oh, hello. Oh, some nice conversations taking place. I must admit, I do like it when we get lots of people chatting in a friendly way. Not everyone in the world is horrible and mean and spiteful. There are lots of nice people in the world as well. I hope so. Anyway. Hello, Inaki. We probably waste too much time saving our faces and also pretending to be who we aren't. You are right, yes. Now, I know from time to time, even a person who has a lot of experience in life can make a mistake. But I think the secret is to admit to your mistakes. It is something everyone does. I make mistakes. There are 1 or 2 English lessons. There are some English lessons on my YouTube channel where there are spelling mistakes. And I think that is a very bad thing to do if you are teaching English. But sometimes when you are typing or when you are writing quite quickly, you can make small mistakes. And there are no excuses. I will not try to save face. Here's another one. A person in authority, if a person has a very responsible job, they will often try to avoid losing face. I suppose if you are a person who has a lot of responsibility, maybe you are a politician with a very high job, or you are working in a very high position, you will often try to save face. But of course, as we found out recently, here in the UK, there have been some politicians who have been caught doing things they shouldn't. They have had to lose face. They have been humiliated publicly for doing things that they should not. So that's one of the things, that's one of the ways of describing losing face. Other ways of describing losing face: to lose face is to suffer shame, accept defeat, admit to failing, or concede to an opponent. So if you have a person who is opposite or against you, sometimes you will have to admit defeat to that person. And again, because of that, you will probably lose face. Your opponent is the person who is against you. Maybe you are competing in some sort of situation. Maybe an election is taking place. Christina. Hello, Christina. Nice to see you here. We are talking about quite a few subjects today. We were talking about rage earlier on. And now we are about to finish today's second topic, which is saving face. I will be going in a few moments. Yes, just 1 hour today. But I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you've enjoyed our time together on this lovely sunny day here in England. Willian says, I think the word pretend, I think it is funny because in a false cognate with my mother tongue. Oh, I see. So it goes against your version or your translation of that particular word. So if you have the word pretender, which means to intend. Oh, I see. So a very different meaning. So in your language, pretend means you are intending to do something. In English, quite often, when a person pretends, it means they are being false or they are behaving in a fake way. Interesting. That is almost it from me for today. I hope you've enjoyed today's live stream. I will give you the answer to today's mystery idiom. Would you like to see it? So here is the question that I asked earlier. Oh, yes. This is a well-known expression in the English language. All you have to do is tell me what it is. The answer is coming up in 3, 2, 1. Oh. The answer to today's mystery idiom is stick to your guns. The meaning of this expression is to not give up or change your belief or opinion, to not be swayed by others, and to carry on with the same determination as before. You have decided to stick to your guns. So even though other people have criticized you, maybe they've tried to discourage you from doing something, you will say, I am going to stick to my guns. I am not going to listen to you. I will stick to my original intention. That's all we have time for today. I hope you've enjoyed this. A couple of nice subjects to talk about today. Hopefully some new words as well. I hope you've enjoyed this past hour. And we will see if there will be another one next week. It all depends on how interested you are in watching. It's as simple as that, really. Thank you very much for your company. To those who have joined me live, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. I appreciate you giving your time to me. Don't forget I am back also on Sunday from 2 p.m. UK time. So you can catch me also on Sunday. That is when I'm with you with my Long English Addict live stream. And of course, every Sunday we have Mr. Steve as well. I hope you are going to join me then. Thank you, Afaf. Thank you also, Beatrice, Sergio. Yes, as soon as I finish today's live stream, I am going to go back onto my favourite website and watch all of the planes flying around above my house. Thank you, Christina. Thank you, Mayuri. Very nice to see you all here today. And that is it. This is Mr. Duncan in the birthplace of English saying thanks for watching. By the way, you can see this again later and there will be captions later on this live stream. It is going to be saved on YouTube and there will be captions. Thank you very much, Enduo, also Inaki. Thank you very much. And also, finally, before I go, happy birthday to Willian for Friday. I hope you have a super birthday. This is Mr. Duncan in the birthplace of English, once more saying thanks for watching. See you soon. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday and also the rest of your week as well. You know what that means when I do that. It means I'm about to say ta-ta for now.